we will definitely not shut up and dribble.
The champ is here! I must be the greatest! The champ is here!
I'm going to continue to stand with the people.
The champ is here!
I will not lose.
I'm a bad man! I took up the road!
Yes, welcome. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with we. My name is EJ, and I got my man.
MH.
Yes, he is the DB of the show, and we are Black in Sports, giving a voice to the culture that won't shut up and dribble. Here interviewing the best professionals in the game and in the boardroom, laughing at it all, covering all while providing a platform to be heard. So, you know how we do it about this time, right? We got a special guest, and, I'm happy we got another D lineman in here because, MH is the DB of the show, and as a defensive lineman myself, man, it's good to have a lineman on the show.
Yes, sir.
He was a Bruin on the field, all right? But he was a baller on the TV. So you'll catch up with that later, man. A man of God, man. So let's please clap it up for Donovan Carter, man. Donovan Carter, man. The second, Junior.
Yes, sir. Man, how y'all doing, man? A blessing to be on here. Appreciate you, man, always.
Absolutely, man. So how we start the show, man, is we like to start it with a shoot your shot moment, man. So
okay.
This is just where you went for it all, man. Where you bet on yourself. You're like, man, I'm going to win or lose. I got to bet on myself. I'm going to do it, man. It could have been in your younger years. It could have been, chasing the ladies. It's just anywhere in life, man. Just give us a shoot your shot moment.
I think for me, the moment when on my first audition for Ballers, and just had to just shoot my shot and just go in there and take a risk, something I never did before. I played football most of my life, but never acted. So I definitely shot my shot every time I had audition, for that role.
There it is.
We're definitely gonna get to that a little later on. But where did your love for sports start, Donovan?
I'd have to say, when I was a kid, man, I first started playing t-ball. My dad and my mom wanted to put me in sports. So football, I was a little too young. My dad didn't want me to start playing football until I got older. So he put me in t-ball at first and just, going out there, having fun. At that time, I didn't have any siblings. So being around some kids, camaraderie, hitting the ball, playing baseball. It was fun just being outside. And then I picked up my passion for football probably later on because my dad used to coach Pop Warner before I even played because he always giving back and coaching kids and, giving back. So he would always have me at the field. I was the water boy. And I'm just like, man, I want to get out there and play. Like, I don't want to just, get water. I'm trying to get out there and tackle and score touchdowns. It looked fun. It looked fun from afar. So finally, when I was like 10 years old, he let me play tackle football.
There it is. All right.
So go ahead, EJ, my bad.
So yeah. So you were born in DC, but moved out to LA. So where was it playing sports start out in the DC area, or was it not until you got in LA? Or
actually, I was born in DC. Then I was 2. Me and my mom moved to Smyrna, Georgia.
Okay,
Smyrna. A little bit outside of Atlanta.
Right.
So I first started playing baseball in Smyrna, t-ball there, and then I moved to Cali when I was 8, and I was still playing baseball. I was playing baseball out there, and then I played football in Los Angeles, California.
Got you.
So moving to LA, was it a little bit like the Wood, like Big Mike from the Wood, where you was like, I play baseball?
man. I mean, it was different. Like by the time like I got to like Big Mike age, I was playing football. But I see what it says because you either play basketball or football. Like but I mean, baseball was cool. But if you want to be like real cool, you got to either talk about, what you did in football, what you did in basketball. And then eventually we moved to the Valley. I'm from the San Fernando Valley, a little bit outside of LA. Because like in the Wood, Big Mike, there's Crips and Bloods out here in LA and all that stuff. So me and my dad, he born and raised in LA. We moved to the Valley just to kind of, give me better school system. And, just let me just be a kid, man, not worry about all that stuff.
So once you got into football, was it just kind of love at first sight? Obviously, I know you watched it from being on the sideline, but watching it and playing it, as you know, is 2 totally different things. So when you finally got the pads on, it was like I was supposed to be here type of feeling?
Yeah, man. I mean, I've I had a good time. I think when the beginning I played a lot of positions, so I think that was fun. Like I was smaller then, so I played like running back, linebacker. So sometimes I had to play quarterback, tight end. So I just think it was fun just doing different things and just like having the team. I was like I wasn't the best player, excuse me, but I was one of like the top players on the team. So it was nice to like see my game develop. And people just kind of just depend on me in these moments. And I'm just like, shoot, I didn't know I was going to turn, it was all going to turn to this. I just, like you said, I came out here just to have fun. And yeah, I think, it was, I wouldn't say love at first sight, but it definitely like let me keep playing. Like after my first year, I wasn't like, oh, Dad, I don't want to play no more. I was like looking forward to like, playing again.
Nice. So, with you moving, who is your home team? Like, who is your pro teams? Let's start with basketball. Who's your basketball team?
Oh man, Lakers, man. You see the Lakers in the background.
I see it up there.
I don't know if you can. That's 17 back there too. Championships too. I know it's a little fuzzy. But okay. Now Lakers basketball, Dodgers baseball.
Okay.
Football is tricky because we just started having a team like 3-4 years ago. Right. So football, I was a Washington Redskins fan, now Washington football team. So I like Washington because I had it's crazy he's in the news today. But Clint Portis is a relative of mine on my grandmother's side. So I started. I was born in DC. All my family is huge Redskin fans, of course. Mm-hmm. And then I have I found out I have a cousin that plays for them. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna start cheering for Washington. Because I never was a 49ers fan or a Raiders fan or Chargers like that. And then now I'll cheer for the Rams and Chargers a little bit just because they home,
Okay.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
So with the Lakers, man, what are you thinking, man? You were quoted as soon as LeBron got back that he was bringing a title. So I know that was right at the beginning. Yes. With the roster right now, and then even Westbrook, right? So he's a UCLA grad, coming back home. How are you feeling about the team, man? People giving a lot of jokes, talking about they're the oldest team in the league and things like that. What's your outlook on this year?
Hey man, I feel good about it, man. We not old. I said we're wise right now. We're a wise, seasoned team. But I'm feeling good about it, man. We got Russ. He's back home. He's from LA. I don't care who you are. You from LA. You're a Lakers fan for the most part. You might, we got these Clipper fans every so often, but they those people are different.
Right.
But for the most part, you Laker fan, it's Kobe. So it's like you come home full circle, you back home, man. You get an opportunity to win one here. I think LeBron, he's hungry. We got Dwight Howard back. We got DeAndre Jordan. We got Rondo, Carmelo. So I think we're gonna be good. I think we got Kendrick Nunn. We kept TCP. I think we probably need one more shooter, I believe. But I think for now we're good as long as we stay healthy. But I think these guys, they older, so they smart. They know their bodies. They know how much they need to play and give everybody in. So I think it's gonna be a team. It's a team game. It's gonna be a team effort. Everybody got to do their part, but I think we're gonna be good, man. The West is tough. To me, the West is a tough conference, but
absolutely.
I think we're gonna be all right, man. Hopefully, we'll see. Though I'm confident.
You're gonna be all right. Kendrick.
Yeah, I'm confident, man. I'm confident. We'll see though.
So not promoting betting on the show, but over and under Lakers. 25 practices this whole season with this old ass team they got.
Man, the whole season?
The whole season, 25, 25 practices.
I'll take the everybody together.
Yeah, just practice. Hey, we practicing today.
Oh no, I ain't taking that bet. They ain't practicing. I'm like, come on, we ready for the game, man.
Yeah, they ain't doing no practice.
Barely,
My last thing with the Lakers, man. I know it's always, a Kobe fan, LeBron fan for so many different years, and then now LeBron joins the Lakers.
Yeah.
Do you feel some type of way? Is it more like, he cool, he on my team now, but I still don't fuck with him like that, or what is it?
Nah, I fuck with LeBron. At first, it was this divide of Kobe and LeBron. But I tip my hat to LeBron. Not only did he win a championship here, he came to LA. He didn't have to do that. He could have stayed in the East Coast and kept going to the finals however many years in a row he was going. He didn't have to do that. For him to come to LA, man, and ball out, LA's a tricky town, man. Some people thrive, some people don't. So for him to come and do his thing, man, and at a high level, man, I commend him because it's not easy. You see people wear these Laker jersey and they don't live up to the hype for some reason, and some do. And for him to come and do that, he didn't have to do that. Like I said, he could have stayed in Cleveland and finished his career there. And he's always going to be a legend there. But to come here and be a legend, and just to see all the off the field things he's done, I don't think you can't do a lot of that without being in Los Angeles. Even somebody like LeBron. So I just, I think it was a good move. And it's Cali. What are we talking about, man? The weather's amazing. Like,
like a true Cali guy right there.
I understand. I understand. What are we talking about? It's beautiful out here every day. It's just expensive, but he good.
Oh, I think he's good though. I think he's all right.
Yeah, he's okay. I think he's good. Yeah.
So getting back into football, man. So we're in your high school days, and you really just started tearing it up, man. Playing both sides of the ball. Now defense really became your calling, right? You played linebacker in high school before you transitioned.
Yeah.
But you played tight end and maybe a little fullback too, just kind of spreading around. But ultimately, linebacker became your position when you started dominating in high school.
Yeah, for sure, man. I went to 2 different high schools, man. Shout out to Chaminade, my first high school in Birmingham, both in the San Fernando Valley. But yeah, Chaminade was a smaller private school, so we didn't have as many players. So I kind of had to play both ways because we just didn't have other teams. We would come out and you got like the kickers and the receivers come out first, and all the specialists, and then they would have more of those guys out than our whole team sometimes.
Warming up,
man. But it was fun though. We ran like this weird defense, which I wasn't like a traditional linebacker. I was kind of like a D line standing up. So I had from like this B gap to this B gap. That was my responsibility. But I could kind of run around the field, do whatever. And it was fun, man, just running out there. Sometimes I didn't know what I was doing, but I had a good time, man. And then I ended up transferring to Birmingham my junior and senior year, and then we had enough players where you could play just one side of the ball. Our coach, he played in college, so he wanted to kind of treat it more like a college NFL program. So I just strictly played linebacker, which was cool, so I could just focus on that. And we ran a 4-4, more of a traditional defense. So I really had to focus on just getting to be a better player because I was doing all this moving and stuff, and my coach is like, "What are you doing? Get your ass back behind the box and read the guards." And I'm
read your keys.
Yeah, read your keys. So it was cool, man. We had a hell of a team, man.
Y'all won the chip, right? Y'all went to.
Yeah, we won city section both years back to back. My senior year, we was 13-1. We almost went to state because state really didn't start till I'll probably say 2008 for football in California because California is huge, and they started doing that was I think state was the first year my senior year, and us and this other school called Corona Centennial where Vontaze Burfict went. And a few other players, but it's like about 2 hours outside of LA. But we had the same record, so instead of us playing each other, they flipped a coin, and we lost. So they represented Southern California, and they played, and they had to play De La Salle for the Division I championship. So it was one of them things. It's like, damn, we lost. Of course, we lost. Our only loss was the first game of the season. And then we went on a run. We beat Long Beach Poly. We played a lot of pretty good. We played Notre Dame High School out here. We have a Notre Dame High School. We played them on national TV. I played Shane Vereen. He went to Valencia out here my senior year. So we had a really good team. I think we had like 8 or 9 people get like D1 scholarships. So man, we had a really good team, man. It was fun, man. High school football special. And then I got to further my playing career, and you know, I got offered a scholarship and ended up going to UCLA, man. And,
Yeah.
you know,
So let's go right into that, man. So out of those players that got those offers, you were one of the players to get a scholarship to go to UCLA, man. So
yeah.
Was that the dream, or were there other offers? Or like, tell us how that went for you, man. Were there, you know, a couple other people coming in because you guys had monster season?
Yeah, man. I was blessed, man. God is good, man. I was blessed to, like, you know, have a few offers, man, mostly on the West Coast. My top 3 was Arizona State, UCLA, and Washington at the time. But
and
yeah, man.
And USC was UCLA was just like, no, I'm there. There's no other choice.
I mean, at the time I was open. Of course, you know, we all watch SC, Reggie Bush. Yeah, he's the best college football player I think ever to touch the field, man. Shout out though to my boy Maurice Jones-Drew though. MJD was a monster too at UCLA, but it's just the timing. Like Reggie was just going so crazy over there and the whole team. But I was talking to Pete Carroll. He was there at the time. He was talking to me. Sarkisian was there. They was recruiting me. But I didn't have time to wait for them at the end of the day, because one of my teammates, he didn't get offered by SC till like December, and signing days in February. So I committed to UCLA like the summer going into my senior year. And I just, you know, I didn't. My dream school at the time kind of was University of Miami, but I just, because I seen the U documentaries, and everybody I knew everybody that was at the U was going to the league,
right?
And it's going crazy. So I'm just like, you know, it's crazy. I think Long Beach Poly out here in California is like the U of high school, because everybody goes to college. But I just thought, like, you know, my thing was like, you know, my goal was the league. So I'm like, what's my best way to get to league? And I said, man, if I go to the U and I ball out there, and I just love their colors, I love their swag, you know, the whole thing. But I didn't know, like, you know, I didn't know nothing about Miami. I didn't know how hot it is out there. I didn't know nothing. I didn't take a trip. I met Randy Shannon one time on campus, but that was the extent of our relationship. I didn't get offered or nothing. But when I stepped on UCLA campus for the first time, man, I fell in love, because it's a beautiful campus. Man, they do a good job of always renovating it. We right near like Bel Air, Beverly Hills,
right?
You know, right in the hills. The campus is, you know, it's just beautiful. Like, I didn't know that was my dream school until like I stepped on campus. I was like, oh yeah, this is where I want to go.
Instantly.
Yeah, instantly, man. And me and my teammates, the teammates that my class that I committed with, we start, you know, talking to each other, creating a bond. So that was cool. Like, honestly, like the coach Carl Durrell offered me, he got fired before I got there. Then Rick Neuheisel, he got hired leading up to like me going there. So it was a lot of coaching changes when I went there. You know, a lot of politics, but you know, I had a good time there, man. Met some amazing people. You know, got to get my degree. You know, got to play at the Rose Bowl, got to play Division I football. Man, it was a blessing. So
kind of putting on your scouting hat a little bit of just about yourself and your game. I mean, what you 6'1", or that's what you was kind of listed as? Is that pretty accurate?
I'm 6'1" and a half. You know, I run it up to 6'2" for the ladies. You know, because they'll be like, really? I'm like, shit. Like, they'll be like, I thought you was taller. I said, damn, I could have probably said 6'4". Yeah, they don't know. They don't know. So
it's 6'something. Yeah,
6'1" and a half. 6'1" and a half. You know, if that counts.
So, I mean, some may say you were undersized as far as height and length wise.
Yeah.
You know, to play up front.
Yeah.
But I mean, you probably won a lot in the leverage game. So just kind of describe your game. I think probably the best football player in the league is technically undersized too, right? Aaron Donald. If you call him undersized. So just talk to us a little bit about your game, and how would you describe your game when you play?
Yeah, man. I think for me, like, I know how to get around the ball, because I played linebacker most of my life, so I had to make this switch to D-line, which was different for me at UCLA. But I was up for the challenge. But you know, the D-line is a physical position. Like, it's all hands. It's a war every play. But I think I find myself around the ball. I'm not the fastest. I'm quick. You know, I know how to get out the ball. I know how to get to the ball. And yeah, I think I'm just a scrappy, physical player. I talk a little stuff if need be, if they get there. But I'm just one of the people that's just around the ball, man. I'm just gonna get, it's because everywhere I played, it's always been a race to the ball because I played with great players. Mm-hmm. So I just always, find myself there because
let's go.
You want to get some stats. That's how you get the stats is get the tackles.
Or so USC rivalry, man. That's always kind of one of my favorite college rivalries, the UCLA USC. Describe us playing in that. I know you guys had a big win against Matt Barkley, play with some guy. So just tell me about that rivalry, playing in that.
Man, the rivalry is real, man. Like we don't like those guys, man. Like anytime I see somebody from SC, I usually be like, "Fuck SC," honestly, and not respectfully. I mean, it's a great school, great tradition, but who cares? It's like SC UCLA. SC's in the hood. It's right in downtown, right in South Central. UCLA, we in Bel Air. It's beautiful over there. We don't got no flies, nothing. The air is different, but not joking aside, man. It's like I think between like Michigan and Ohio State, I think USC UCLA is one of the greatest rivalries in college football. Shoot, in any sport, I think. Yeah. And I really enjoy. I think Coach New, he was the one that kind of brought back us wearing both of us wearing our home jerseys, which I think is dope too. Like they get to wear their home jerseys, we get to wear ours, and I think that kind of just brings back the tradition. But man, it was fun, man. Like I mean, that game is like we definitely circle that. You care about every other game
on the schedule, boy.
Yeah, you care about every other game, but if you win that game, like we could be 2 and goddamn 8. And if we win that game, our season, is complete because we get to, you get those bragging rights. And but I mean, over the years, it's gotten better. I didn't beat SC until my last year when Matt Barkley was playing. Unfortunately, I have to admit I was on the team when we lost 50-0. It was terrible. Yeah. So embarrassing, man. But it's just nice to see us compete with those guys, man, and like finally getting guys to open their mind, because I feel like everybody, SC such tradition. Everybody want to go to USC, and whatever. But it's just like, man, come over to our side, see what we got going over here, man. We got something brewing.
Did you see the LSU game this past week?
Oh yeah, I was there live.
Yeah,
man. I was there, man. Amazing game, man. We finally got a team, man. I'm happy with the team we have. They play really good. We got some good transfers. I think that's helping a lot. I think that's going to really impact the college football as a whole.
Yeah. So we were texting, man, about this prediction you made, and now, man, I like you said, speaking into existence, man. So what'd you say, a 10-win season? I mean, at least a minimum. You said
we have to, man. 10 wins, Rose Bowl. We have to. Like, it's been.
This is before LSU. This is before
this is week.
This
0.
is the beginning of the season. We were texting. I was like, "Yo, I saw that." And I hit him back. I'm like, "Tim," he's like, "Hey, E," he's like, "You got to put it in existence, man." And then they came and rolled LSU. I was like,
"Wow." We got Fresno State next. I mean, it's time, man. We ain't been good since the 90s, like since Bob Toledo, Mm-hmm. So it's like, man, since K McNown, it's time, man. Shit, it's been over 20 years. Like, why can't we do something? That's what I say at the end of the day. And I think it's like I've heard now several people say this through these last month. And they're like, why don't people go to UCLA? Like, why don't they take a trip? Like, because they come by campus, they see what it is, and they just like, why don't you? And then even now, most NFL players, if you see where they train at, it's at UCLA. Mm-hmm. And I just hope like they do open eyes, or Tom Brady or whoever, if they got their nephew or their cousin, man, I hope they just plug us in a little bit. I'll just say, just to come take a trip. That's it. I'll show you around.
Tom Brady's like niece? I'll show you around. Is it Tom Brady's niece?
Yeah, his niece plays softball there. Yeah, softball
okay.
there going up, man. And it's a great school, man. Number 1 applied school in the country, man. Number one public school in California. So
well, there you go. You go there. You get a tour by DC.
Man, I'll show you around, man. Bring your walking shoes, though. It's a lot of hills and stairs. You're gonna get your steps in.
All right, man. So you played in a historic stadium, man. So tell me, like, your favorite memory of playing or just being in the Rose Bowl, man. Just It could be as simple as walking out because MH and I had a chance to go there. It was my first time. MH was that when we went to the Senior Bowl, Collegiate Bowl.
Oh, you played in? Yeah, I think you played in, right?
When we played though, it was at the StubHub Center. But yeah, man, the Rose Bowl is amazing, man. I'll probably say, of course, beating SC my senior year. I think my junior year we played Cal. I got I got a forced fumble, picked up the ball, man. That was cool. Just when you went in there, the energy's crazy. I've been there where we've been booed too, where it's not as good. But I'll probably say one of my favorite memories, my first year, my red shirt year, we played Tennessee. Lane Kiffin was there, Aaron Foster was playing running back, and we ended up beating those guys, man. That was lit because the SEC schools travel. And they bring their fans, so that was pretty cool to watch and just see just the whole college vibe. I said, man, this is crazy. I'm actually here.
So when you at UCLA, you got a real dream of making it of the NFL to go into the next level. It's different than other schools. So
yeah,
you had a shot. Just tell me about that process of senior year is done. Moving towards not being drafted, but that track into the league. Tell us about that.
Yeah, man. Coach Moore. We had Coach Moore my senior year, legendary coach. His pops is a legend, so it was just it was cool to have somebody there because I really feel like he has a lot of connections. So I think that kind of helped me out because you're the one that got after I got done, I was trying to scramble playing one of these All-Star games. Thank God, man, he made a call for me. I got to play in the collegiate game. Got to play in that game. Was looking to find an agent. Found an agent after I got done. Was training because I knew I wasn't going to get invited to the combine, but we had our pro day at our school. Okay. So it was like end of the ball game for me. Was getting ready for the All-Star game. All-Star game ended. Now my focus is just on training, getting ready for the pro day, and then training for that. Just scrambling too, because I'm like, I'm on my own as well now. I'm out of school. My parents don't live here anymore, so thank God my grandmother's here. So I'm living with her. I'm figuring out life. Because my dad he was at a point where he's like, man, I helped you all you could. You a man now. It's on you. So now the stuff that my parents was taking care of. Now I inherited it. So I'm like, damn, I got bills. I'm trying to train. I'm trying to eat right. I'm trying to go out. I had a girl at the time. I'm just trying to balance all this stuff with no money. So I'm just like, man, so I was just, trying to balance all that things, balance all that, focus on training. And, but all my mind was just pro day. Pro day came, I worked out, did my thing, had a few workouts after with some teams, just that want to see me do some more things.
Right.
And then draft day came. Knew I wasn't gonna get drafted. I was, but hoping for a free agency call. Raider after the draft, Raiders. So like draft day, I wasn't nervous. So you got people staring at the screen. I kind of was like, I know what time it was. So I'm just like, I'm just hoping for an opportunity. Right. And the Raiders called me, the Seahawks called me to come to their mini camp, the rookies mini camp. So I chose the Raiders because I'm just like, man, Seattle, they was just coming off they Super Bowl or they was coming off going to the playoffs. I can't remember, but I just knew they had a team. And I'm like, Raiders, they're trash. Like, I should have a shot. Like every position should be up for grab. So I went up there, man, did my thing, 3 days, competed, and it ended up not making the team, man. And long, short flight from LA to the Bay, but a long flight for me. And 100%. I think just then, getting back, I'm just kind of seeing my NFL dreams kind of stay in the wing, as they would say. And I, got home. And it just really was just, went through a little depression because I'm like, football's over. Didn't really plan for the future. Like I try to tell these youngins that I meet, man, make sure you just plan for something else because football don't last forever. So I was at that point like, damn, what am I gonna do? Man, you just had to figure out life after that, man.
So you hit something really important. Oh, yeah, MH, you have some.
No, I think you about to touch on it.
So you hit something really important that we discuss and we see a lot of times when we talk on the show, man, is one, that depression part is real, and it's that transition from being an athlete to what's next, right? What's after sports, right?
Right.
And that's a hard transition that on all levels, like we all experience it. Like we never want to let the game go. Like the joys that, we can all sit back if we just really just talk about like playing the game. So how'd you get yourself out of that, man? And like, what tools are you sharing with other people to prepare themselves for that, man? Because like you said, that came early for you.
Yeah. I mean, I really just got to show a testament to my grandmother, man. Rest in peace to her. Her name was Barbara Jean Carter, man, but she just really like got me like going to church, man. Just really got me in the word. Like that's really what just saved me, man, was God. Cause I had nothing, man. And I feel like God, he'll humble you sometime. And I ain't gonna lie, I thought, I was confident. I thought I was going to the league. I thought I had a shot, all that. Even with like, not getting drafted, I'm like, man, this is what I want to do. Like, I made it this far. But really, like she would just give me motivational stuff to read every day.
Okay.
She'd give me Bible verses, quotes, and then she from Mississippi, she from the South, so she go to church every Sunday, and I was living with her at the time. Excuse me, and every Sunday she's asked me, did I want to go to church? And I'm like, nah, Granny, I'm cool. Like, I don't feel like going because their church old. There's a bunch of old people and all that stuff. So I'm like, man, I ain't trying to.
They don't get out to 3:30.
Yeah, like she got a Bible study. Yeah, choir. I'm just like, man, hell nah. I'm chilling. Yeah. So then finally, you only can tell your grandma no so many times. Like she, So I'm like, I finally went. And I'm like, what, shit, nothing else working right now. Like, so let me go see what she talking about. Like, we went, first day, she didn't grab my hand, took me to the altar. I'm like, Granny, I'm trying to be in the back. Like, I'm here, but I'm not here. But ever since then, man, just kind of just kept a consistency of staying in the word. I even do that today. I try to post, my devotion,
every day.
some man, because I just kind of just help me just stay sane. Because even throughout life, man, things gonna happen. Maybe not as drastic as what happened, when I got done with ball, but we all go through life, man. So that kind of just helped, keep me going, man. And at the time, I just needed that because I had nothing. I had no money. Me and my girl broke up. I had no car. I had no job. Like. I just, it was a lot. And then, and also
rains and pours, right?
Yeah, man, it was crazy, man. But, sometimes you got to hit rock bottom to, to bounce back up. And then one of my other teammates as well, he kind of motivated me too, because he was kind of the same dilemma as me. We both went to mini camp, both got cut. We in the real world ahead of, some of the other people in my class. But I'm calling him, just trying to see if he want to hang out, shoot the shit. And he was like, man, I'm going to work. And I'm like, work? Like, what you mean? Like, where you get a job? And he was like, bro, I got 2 jobs. I said, damn, like shit. So I'm like, what? At a certain point, I was like, whatever I want, it's not in this house. So I got to get up. I got to get my ass up and I got to get up out this house and I got to figure it out. Cause at the time it wasn't even acting. I didn't know what the hell I want to do, but I was like, it ain't here. So I got to get out in the world and just figure it out and just, with trial and error. And yeah, man.
That's it, man. So MH, got anything else before we get into the game, man?
No, I think you hit on a lot of stuff, Donovan. It's something about football in particular that it's just like, hey, man, you're not going to win every battle. Every rep you're not going to win, but there's something about just moving forward to the next play, and I think that kind of helps everybody else in life. That football kind of sets that foundation of like, hey, all right, let's get up and go to the next play. Yeah. And little do you know, you kind of apply it to the rest of your life. But that's all I had, man. You touched on it, bro.
Yeah, you got to. And I didn't know that at the time, like you said, like football, certain things like helped me in my life that I didn't know. And it helped me like, transition into even what I do now and even in my in the real world. Cause maybe we don't have the, athletes don't have the most experience work wise, but we know how to do certain things. We got certain skills. You just gotta know how to take it and translate it. That's the thing. Just
big time, man. Think about it, man. And MH, you hit that like square on the head. Football is different than another, right? Because you have 11 guys on the field is depending on you to do your job, right? So it's a team setting. You have a coach that's, giving you plays, but you got multiple leadership, man. And, there's ups and downs and you got to perform, man. So that's a really great point, man.
Gotcha.
So, hey, we want to kind of move into your career, man, and talk about, Listen, I get chills when I used to come on.
Hey,
Let's go.
you know, best intro. I think. I mean, I'm biased, but I don't know none of the intros that go crazy. I mean, power intro cool got vibey too,
It's
but
cool, but it don't hit you like when that come on, right?
nah, man, nah.
I mean, it comes off.
Man, it go crazy.
So let's get into it, man. So tell us how you got onto Ballers. And I think I've seen and I heard a couple times that it was really you believe in the power of network. And just tell us about how your network helped you get into this opportunity, or just tell us, you know, from the start.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, I gotta give it, man, to my coaches, man, and just to God as well. You know, God blessing me the opportunity to even go to UCLA, because I really feel like if I didn't go to UCLA, I wouldn't even got the opportunity. And I was talking about that earlier. You know, it's like you got these kids that make these, you know, you make a big decision about what school you go to at an early age, and it impacts you for the rest of your life. And yeah, I mean, just going to UCLA, you know, like I said, it opened up the doors for me to do this. But I just, you know, I kept a network with my coaches always, you know, not all of them, but, you know, of course, my position coach and a couple of other dudes I kind of attracted. But I always, as well, treated people how I want to be treated too. Because, you know, you got some of these coaches you don't get along with, just like any other, you know, some coworkers you with, some bosses you work for. Not everybody gonna get along, but I would see some of my teammates talk to some of these coaches crazy, and I'm like, you know, I never did that. Even though I understand, because they was on some bullshit sometime, but I say, you know what? Because at the end of the day, you know, you might sometimes you need a favor from somebody. You know, they got to pay it forward. And I'm just glad that whoever sent this email about auditioning for the show to UCLA, I was one of the people they thought of. And I feel like that's, you know, a big thing when things come into play. You just want to be thought of, hopefully, because they could, you know, we got 100 people on the team. Not at the time, not everybody, you know, you had to have no eligibility, but, you know, each year you got people graduate every year, you know, seniors. So, you know, I was just glad that they thought of me to give me the opportunity. At the time, you know, I was just, you know, doing my thing, transitioning, you know, developing my network, because I didn't really have too much of a network at the time, but I was getting to know people, you know, firstly started with my college, getting to know Bruins, kind of picking their brain, figuring out things, you know, what they do, what they don't do. And yeah, I just got a random email one day, man, about auditioning for this show. And yeah, just went for it, man. They sent me the sides, memorized my lines as best as I could, went in there, you know, did the best I could. And then I'd audition over a 3-month period of 10 auditions total over 3 months.
Wow.
For the role, man. And yeah, got the role like into 2013. And then we shot the pilot 2014. And then yeah, went and then, you know, the show was on for 5 years, man. And it was amazing, man. It was crazy, man. I never acted before in my life, nothing either.
Yeah.
This is my first time, but you know, I play football. I played football my whole life.
Yeah, there you go, right?
Yeah, so I just, you know, I did my best, man. I know it was probably I was probably green, you know, didn't know what I was doing, but I mean, I'm coachable. I think playing football, I know how to take direction. I know how to be coached. I know how to memorize stuff because I memorized my plays. So I just kind of took the tools that I learned from ball and just used it to acting, which kind of actually correlates, because it's a little similar. You know, I ain't hitting nobody, but you know, it's a little bit similar, man. Just kind of being in the moment and doing things and reading and reacting. You know, it's like being in the game and the play. So, you know,
That's interesting, man. I mean, I'm assuming the audition process is a lot different than like memorizing your Easter speech at church, right? So
yeah, for sure.
So like, as much as you can tell us about, I guess, that process, I didn't know it was, you know, 10 auditions over 3 months.
Yeah.
How was that process? I know it was stressful. What did you take from your football experience that helped you get through that?
I mean, it was rigorous, man. I kind of didn't know what to expect going in, because
did that kind of help too?
I think it did, because it kind of kept me like not so nervous, because I just didn't know. I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't have nobody kind of telling me like, bro, this is big time. This is big. This is big. Because nobody knew. I knew like them wanting to see me was good. You know, I could tell that. But it was fun though, man. I met some cool people. It wasn't until like my 3rd, 4th audition, because I would go in there and I would see who else was in there and for all the different characters. And then I would go in there. I think one time I seen like Lala Anthony. I saw Regina
Hall?
Regina Hall. And I'm like, what y'all doing here? They like, they like, oh, we auditioned for Ballers. I'm like, oh, for real? I said,
For real?
shit.
Like that?
I said, which part? And then I'm seeing everybody else on there, and I'm like, oh, damn, I think I recognize this person. I don't. Then I see Omar Miller, and then it was just cool, man. Like, the first auditions was just with the casting director, so it was just me and like, these two other people. And then as time, as audition went on, more and more, it's just more and more people in the room.
Right.
But luckily, I didn't know who they were. But I'm used to like performing a little bit and people watching. Not necessarily saying lines, but I'm used to playing a game. Because that was my whole thing. I said, man, I didn't play in front of thousands of people. It's 12 people in here. Fuck them. Only person I knew. And then honestly, I didn't know who everybody was. I think if I knew who they were, that would have made me more nervous. Only person I knew was Peter Berg, and he was a director of the pilot, and he was a producer. He played Coach Berg in the show too. Yeah. But I know him from he did Friday Night Lights. He did Lone Survivor. He directed those. He was in Corky Romano acting. So I recognize him, but everybody else I kind of didn't know, and I kind of just phased out. But then also people helped me along my journey, man. I had the cast directors; they would work with me before the audition, and then like some of the actors was working with me, so I could see like that. It was kind of, and at the time I didn't know, but it was my job to lose. They just wanted to just see if I can come in and they would just throw stuff at me and see how I would handle stuff. But I was so green, I didn't know, and I'm just like, man, whatever. I just went in there and I was like, what? My coach always had this phrase he used called the pain and regret. So, I kind of had, regrets in football and things, you kind of wish you could take back and do. But I was like, at the time I was really like in the present. And I was like, I know this is a good opportunity. I'm not going to squander it. I'm just going to do the best I could do. That's all my dad would always tell me after every game. Did you do the best you could do? Then, if you did, then nobody could say nothing. What could they say? So I just went in there, just did the best and took their notes, applied it. And then next time I seen them, try something else.
Taking us into the show a little bit, your character, how much of that is you? And then the next part of that is when somebody sees you out on the street, do they call you Vernon, or do they, do they call you by your name?
The beginning. What was the first question? I'm sorry.
How much of that is you?
Okay, I'm sorry. The first part, I would say majority. The writers did a really good job, and I think they kind of got to know us as a person a little bit. So some of that stuff, it kind of felt familiar. I'm not such a pushover as Vernon, with the family and things like that. But I understand, like, take care of your family, take care of people that's been for you and been down for you. Like I feel like I'm loyal like Vernon. I just know how to say no sometimes. Like, hell no, actually. People, hey, you to do, it transitioned. It was first, hey, you look familiar. And then, where do I know you from? Then, hey, you the dude from Ballers. And then, hey, Vernon. And then now you might get Donovan, like, but most it's really like Vernon. Hey, you're the dude from Ballers. That's pretty. I'll go toward that. Every now and then, like, they'll know my full name, and I'm like, damn, you know my full name. That's like, okay, but it's Google. It's Google. Because they'll Google that ball, Ballers cast.
Like,
And I can see it on their phone. They'll like, they won't close the phone, so I can just like see like Google up, But it's all love, man. It's been such a blessing, man. I've been, I've been to a few states in America. I've been out the country, man. And everybody just love the show, man. And it's been a blessing, playing Vernon, because people like him as well. And it's nice to play, it's nice to have a likable character, because, my boy London, he played Reggie. People didn't like, he did a good job, though. That just showed how good of an actor he is, man. And shout out to my boy London. He's on the new Power right now, raising Canaan, going crazy. But people was like, I don't like your friend. I don't like your friend. Like, I like you, but I don't like your friend. So it's been cool, man. Everybody been like, showing love. Even now, they'll still be like, is the show coming out? And I'm like, man, nah, man. I hate to break bad news, but nah, it's not. But you can watch it on demand though.
There you go.
Anytime.
So you do a great job with that, man. And where's that come? Because I've been out, like we've been out, and people will come up to you, and you'll give them that time, man. Like you'll even like you'll see them looking, like they get that look.
Yeah,
you can tell, like, all right, they're starting to process it.
Yeah, sometime, man.
They'll come up to you, and but like, man, you're always giving them that time, man. And where does that come from, and why do you do that? Because a lot of people, don't give that time to people.
Yeah, I mean, first, I seen that I worked with amazing people, man. The Rock, Omar Miller, Troy Garrity, Rob Corddry, Dulé Hill, Jasmine Simon. These are all, man, established actors before I got there. So I learned from them. You gotta learn. You gotta learn from the people that come before you. And they all goats to me in my eyes. So I just kind of see how they conduct themselves, how they were around their fans. And I'm like, shit, who am I to because you go into the business, you don't know how it is. You think people is, to themselves and, arrogant and cocky and all this stuff, or,
right.
I'm not taking any pictures and that stuff, but man, I just seen how they were. They was real cool. And honestly, man, people it's been love. So it's like, why not show love with love? I'm always a person that show, I'm always about love, man. Cause and you gotta, sometimes you gotta give love to get it. So everybody been so nice, and what's it to me to spend 5 minutes on my day, man, to show you some love. And because honestly, you the one watching me, you support me, you helping my career, you helping help me with my, help me
put money in your pocket, right?
Yeah, exactly, man. Like help me put money in my pocket and help me survive, man. So and I know it is too. Like I'm fans of people. And I know it is when you meet people and it's not a good experience, man. People, they be quick to be like, man, and they'll be quick to bash you. I met such and such. He was such an asshole. It'll be trending on Twitter before you know it. So, so it ain't nothing for me to just, like I said, show love, man. Because, end of the day, you doing me a favor. And,
for sure.
And I appreciate it.
You ready for them quick hits, man? Because time is flying.
Yeah. First time, Vernon, if ever, or I'm sorry.
It's all good.
I got all into it, man.
It's all good. It's all good.
Donovan.
We in character right now.
I got all into character, man. My bad. So first time, if ever, that you were starstruck.
Dwayne, yeah. Dwayne, man. Dwayne and Mark Wahlberg. We was at the pilot, and
wow.
Yeah, we was doing the table read. Excuse me, we was doing the table read, and all my auditions is I've only really seen like Omar, I seen Troy, I seen my boy JD, London, but I never really seen the rest of the cast like that. And I get there and I see The Rock, I see Mark. I said, damn, like this is crazy. Like I had to pinch myself. I said, this is crazy. Like, is this a dream? Because I go from like not being able to play ball on like literally like nothing, like on the couch at my granny house, and then now I'm at HBO. Reading lines with these people, like just was crazy. It was surreal, man. It was a blessing.
If somebody were to play you in a movie about you, who would that be?
Shoot, that's a good one. I have to say Drewski because I think I'm funny a little bit, but he's funny as a motherfucker. So I would love for him to play your boy and just make me look even funnier than what I think I am.
Let's go.
Shout out to your favorite teammate in college.
My favorite teammate, man. I gotta say, man, that's a tough. I gotta say two. I gotta say, my best friend, man, on and off the field, Aaron Hester, man. We was roommates, damn near every year of college, and then my other boy, Jonathan. Jet Ski Mini Me Franklin. He was a running back.
I know Jet Ski.
Yeah, my boy Jet, man. He played for the Rams. He works for the Rams.
Yeah.
Man, was drafted by the Packers, man. Had an unfortunate neck injury, had to end his career. But man, he just one of my favorite people, man. Somebody I look up to. Like he really got me in the word as well before I wasn't ready to be in the word because we lived together for like a little bit, but we were still cool. I would see him do do Bible studies. He'd be reading the Bible on the plane, on the bus. I'm like, bro, what you doing? He like, bro, I'm in the word. I said, sheesh, like, we're on the bus. People, we about to. You can do that later, but I just, always respected his faith and even how he handled, I seen him work so hard to get to the league, and for it to be taken away his rookie year, man, and just how the way he handled it and how he like would compose himself. Like I just, I don't know because you got a lot of these people that press, going to drugs, man, killing themselves and just all type of stuff, man. So I just, I always commended how he is, man. He's like one of the people I look up to still to this day.
Yeah, man. Shout out, man. He's a good dude.
Yeah, great dude, man.
Last one. So I always say there's a certain character in the D-line room.
Yeah.
There's a dude that's mad all the time for no reason.
Yeah.
There's a dude that sing all the time for no reason.
Yeah.
They're the funny one.
Yeah.
And then there's a one that's way too pretty for no reason. You a D-line, you don't need to be this pretty. Yeah. Which one were you? Where did you fit in that room?
Man, I would say I was the funny one, probably. You know what I'm saying? I was the one, but I gotta shout out my boy. I gotta shout out my boy Daytone Jones because he was goofy as hell. Like me and Tone we was like. We was no good. I couldn't sit next to him sometimes because I'm like, bro, because we be watching film. Yeah, we be watching film, and he would be tapping me like, because especially when somebody got blasted or got pancake, he would be going crazy. He reminded me like Spice Adams, just funny, just goofy like that. But I'll probably say I was the funny one because I definitely I'm handsome, but I ain't that pretty. I ain't that mad. I ain't crazy. So I always the one like wanted to laugh, keep people smiling all the time.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's jump into this winner's circle, man. Talk about all the great things you got going on, man. And I want to start with your Twitch channel because I think it was really awesome and interesting how your role in Ballers started picking up some of the gaming influence, man. So shout out your Twitch channel, man, just so the people can hear it.
Yeah, I'm at DC So Fly on Twitch. I play Call of Duty, mostly Warzone. So yeah, I'll be on there, man, playing with the homies, playing with random sometime. But yeah, definitely trying to grow that, trying to expand that because the esports stuff, that's how me and EJ kind of got reconnected at this esports event in Vegas, man. And, just the esports is just going crazy right now. So I'm just doing my best to kind of put my imprint on there. And
now you still with the was it Players League? Are you still with them or are you with
them?
Okay.
Yeah. I was with this other group, but I've been messing with my boy David Panda. He got a group in NACL, and been rocking with them. We're gonna do something. We're gonna do something for HyperX soon this month, and then I think I'm gonna go to Vegas again and host this other tournament as well, man. So just diving in, man. Ballers definitely opened the doors for me with that because the last season my character he got into esports and he played League of Legends and I've found out too a lot of athletes, man, they're big time gamers. So it definitely correlated in the real world, but just diving into that, man, because I've always been a video game head since I was a kid. So
and we saw how much that, and like shout out to the NFL Player Symposium that Hillary Coach Hill invited us out to, man. So it was definitely dope, man.
Yeah, it was dope, man. It's just and it's something that's gonna just keep growing. Like it's just, you just haven't even seen like the peak of this, I think, because it's still kind of a new thing. I feel like 'cause some people just still don't understand it or get it.
Right.
Yeah, like me. I mean, I right now I just play on the Xbox for free, man. And I don't really. I'm trying to figure out that world as I get a little older. So
yeah.
To a novice like me, man, tell me a little bit about it, as much as I guess what you can share about it.
Like I guess how to get into it.
Yeah, got into it exactly.
I don't know. I think it definitely bars up my eyes because I didn't know there was tournaments. Like people come and like watch you, like in like they'll sell out like arenas, and people like just how they watch basketball games, concerts, NFL games. You got people that just want to watch this. And then now you got a lot of these kids watching just, YouTube channels, just seeing, how to get better. And then you got celebrities playing, kind of showing their personality. So I think it's just, doing what you normally do, just play, but just press record. That's it. Just how y'all doing with this podcast. Y'all, I'm sure both of y'all was already talking, talking to each other. It's like, now we might as well press record and just, just tell a story. So it's kind of similar. But I think now, with the younger generation, they have high school. Some high schools are having teams now. You can
leagues and everything, man.
You can get a varsity letter. Colleges having scholarships. You go professional. of course, the money stuff that, everybody trying to figure that part out. But, you just get your viewers up, just keep playing. And, I feel like, if you do what you're supposed to do, the money will come.
There it is, man. So
Yeah.
you spoke on it, man. Let's talk. You got a podcast, man.
Yeah.
I'm
yeah.
supposed to be here. I
Yeah,
love that
absolutely.
title, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how
Yeah,
did that come around? Was that just you, another venture, or just, like, yo, man, I talk, I'm funny, I got a lot to say. Let me push record. Like, how did yours start, man?
Yeah, same thing. I mean, I think people was kind of like sprinkling in my ear, even before I was acting. Like, people was like, man, you're funny. You should be on TV. But I'm like, man, whatever. Like, get out of here. I ain't trying to, I thought that, just like if you got a good voice,
right?
Or you look good, you should model. So I kind of took it, I kind of like brushed it to the side, and people kept like, man, you should have a podcast. Like, you got a different point of view, you got a good voice, et cetera, et cetera. So during COVID, of course, we at home, nothing too much to do. So I was like, you know what? Like, I ain't got nothing but time right now. So let me get the equipment. Let me see where it goes, and let me see what happens. And it was just a good way, I think, for me at the time to kind of, be in front of the camera and performing, practice, because I think all this kind of correlates and goes hand to hand, and in my career as well. So I got with Believe Network, met a couple people from there, and they helped really navigate me. And yeah, I did. I got my first season out. It's on. I got video on YouTube. I'm on Apple Pod. I'm on the podcast on the app. I'm on Spotify, Apple Music. All that, man. So
and we're gonna put all that in the show notes too, so you can find out where to find them.
Yeah, it's been cool, man. It's been different. Definitely a different vibe, but it's been cool though. Just just learn as I go. Gonna start season 2, probably end of this year, man, and just keep it going, keep it growing, and just keep learning, man. I think it's cool to I think we all got stories, and then, me and including everybody else who I bring on. So I think it's just cool to like give people a platform, tell their story, talk a little mess, and yeah, go about your day.
There it is, man.
Yeah.
As we kind of learn and grow in this podcast world, man, I guess I learn stuff about myself all the time through it. So
Right.
what's some things that you learned about yourself through the podcast and as you built it up?
I just think just keeping the conversation going sometime, I think you get to a certain point and you just like, trying to figure out the flow, trying to figure out everything, being in the moment, listening, not think about what I'm gonna say here, what I'm gonna say there. I think too, just taking your time, pronunciating as well. Eye contact, I think it kind of just go hand in hand, and just, but also like the camera's not there as well, just having a conversation. My whole thing was like, man, let's just let it flow and just have a conversation. And then I'm sure with y'all look up and you like, damn, it's been an hour and whatever already, because it was barely any time where I'm like, damn, it's been 20 minutes. I'm almost out of questions. Like,
right. So no, we definitely mindful of that. Yeah. And that's fine, especially when you have fun, man. So definitely want to talk about, man, Midnight and was it Switchgrass, man? Like, that's big, man. So that's your feature film, right?
Yeah. I did that September 2020, man. It just came out this past July.
Gotcha.
Middle of July, man. It was cool, man. My boy Randall Emmett, he was the director, man. Shout out my boy Randall. Just hit me up randomly. One year he was like, man, I'm doing this movie, man. Do you want to be in it? And I'm like, shit, hell yeah, like please. So he sent me the script, read the script, man. Loved the story, man. It was a cool story.
It's based off a true story, right? Or something that?
Yeah. They said it's based off a true story, which I didn't know till I watched it. I'm like, oh, for real. But it was cool though, man. I just loved, just so thankful for the opportunity. It was so much different from Ballers because I play a cop. It was some great talent. I didn't get to meet everybody, but it was a talented cast, and it was just
Megan Fox. That's all I didn't know.
Yeah, man. Bruce Willis, Megan Fox, Emil Hurd, Machine Gun Kelly, man. So it was just an honor to like be a part of that cast, man, and just do something different. And man, it was fun. I got one scene in there, nothing too crazy, but it was just cool to just work. I mean, this is such a acting, man, is such a hard, humbling business. So anytime you get to work and get to create and get to tell a story, it's just such a blessing. So I was happy to do something and add it to my reel. And yeah, man, hopefully just, man, keep it rolling going into the end of this year, next year, man.
Love it. All right, man. Just a couple quick things, man. Just want to get your quick thoughts on these two things so we can get out of here, wrap it up.
Okay.
When did the idea of the thought of multiple streams of income really come and be like a focus for you? Because like we've already talked about, like, you're acting, you're still engaged in the esports, and some people may not know that you real estate invest as well. So like, what made that so important, and when did that kind of get active for you?
I think just, when you start getting money, you just try to figure out, like, like, you just hear all these stories and like how to navigate it, how to save it, how to make your money work for you. But I think just meeting folks, man, and meeting people like yourself, and just meeting people that just was just willing to, like, give me some game, man. I just really appreciate it, from my co-stars to, friends, family, sometimes even strangers, just kind of just give me some insight. And I always, you always hear, especially in California, man, multiple streams of income. And even my co-star, man, shout out to Omar. He always, he always reiterates to me, man, don't just depend on, acting to be your main thing, do other things. Cause if you're going to do that, you're going to drive yourself crazy.
So
man. I think it's just, I think it's just important just to have, have that, just in case, cause some, COVID, we never could plan for that, and it's just like, if you have some other things going on, that helps. And also my grandparents, they bought real estate a long time ago, even before I was born, and just kind of seeing like the advantages of that. And, what my dad shared with me growing up too, kind of just do to, like, diversify your portfolio.
There it is, man.
Yeah.
All right. Really quick, man. This last part we call the assist, man. This is where you get to drop your coaching gem. Maybe it's a words to live by, philosophy, or quote, you would tell your younger self, man. So give us a really quick quote or thoughts.
Man, my younger self, how old? Or
whenever you think that this message was applicable for.
Man, shoot, I think my younger self all the time, I was so like afraid of like failure and making mistakes. So I would just, my acting teacher always tells me, man, mistakes are gifts, and you are enough, like sometimes you think you got to do this or you got to do that, man, you enough, man. And, you're going to make mistakes. It's just what you learn after it. That's
I
it.
love it.
Yeah, that's it, man.
There it is. MH, final words.
Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate y'all.
It's
man.
been an honor, man. I appreciate it.
Man, the honor's all mine, man. I appreciate y'all, brothers, man.
Absolutely, man. This has been fire, brother. Let's go, man. So, hey, I want to thank our guest DC again. I want to thank you, the people, for listening. I hope you enjoyed the show like we did, man. We drop shows every Thursday, so please subscribe to the YouTube, because visual representation matters. If you see it, you can be it, man. So subscribe also wherever you listen to podcasts, and please, 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 please stay safe, practice gratitude, and know we're rooting for you.
Screaming, all us blacks got is sports and entertainment until we even.
Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Yeah. Yeah. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Look. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. Spent about 2 racks on handmade new rags. Assuming I'm rooting for everybody that's black. That's everybody from sports to college class to rap and back.